What's going on, guys? Welcome to the coolest tutorial of Python. And suppose you have a file on your system and you want to read that file content via Python. So let's see how we can do this in this episode. So suppose I have a file. So let's create a simple text file. So let's say file name is name.txt, and let's provide my name first, and that has to be correct, obviously. Sarthak, and then let's say the channel is Bitfumes, and then some random names. So we have three names. So let's save this file, and now I don't want to open this file. I actually want to open the file via Python. So in Python, if you want to read a file, you need to use a function which is open. Okay, so that has to be obviously lowercase. So open is a function, and inside that function the first parameter you need to give is the file name. So file name is name.txt. This is good, but what it returned? It returned the content. So if I say f is equal to, f is a variable in which I am opening this file. So let's see what happens if I print f. So it's just we have not given any instruction to Python instead of just this open. So if I run it, yeah, it says the type and all these things, encoding, this is good, but we are not getting the content. So how we can get actually the content of this file? So we can say f dot read. If I use this and run it, you can see we actually have read the content of the file, which is name.txt, and three names are here in the console. That's super easy. But with the Python, it's more flexible. How? You can just provide how many lines you want to read, or actually how many character. So my name is Sarthak, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 letters. So if I say 6 only and run it, you can see we only have 6 letter, not the last one, which is K. But if I say 7, run it, whole name is here. But what if I say 8? On that also we are getting that same name. But you have noticed one thing, we are actually getting a space here, or simply I can say a new line here. So with 7, you can see we have this thing, no space, but with 8, we are getting this space. Now this means if we increase with 9, it will start with B in the next line. So yes, we are having this thing. So this is more flexible, but it is okay when you know the content, and when you know that on the first line you have only 7 letters, on the second line you have only 6 letters, and so on. But what if you don't know how many characters are there, how many words are there? Then you just want to read first line, nothing else. So now we have a new thing. So if I delete this, if I say dot, yeah, PyCharm is giving some things. So if I say read lines and try to run it, you can see we are only getting the first line. But if I say once more this thing, run it, and yes, I'm getting read line and another line is there. But you have noticed one thing again, that when you try to read line via read line method, you also get a space after that line. So we are getting a space here. So this is good. So now what we can say, we can use a for loop. So for I in f, and then I'm going to print it. So let's print this, and I'm not going to print these things. And now if I run it, we are only getting 1. Why is that? Because now I need to say I dot readline. So let's say, okay, it's not giving that, because now itself I is a line. So run, and yes, we are getting this Sarthak, Bitfumes, and John. So this is the simple way. And now one thing more you can do, Suppose you don't want to loop through these things to get all the lines, and obviously we are getting space here. We don't want that. So now we can simply say here, instead of this, we can say print f dot read lines, not line, lines with a s. That means I just want to get all the lines we have. So run it, and now instead of giving the exact line, we are getting a list of each line, and obviously with a /n, which is representing that okay, after this there's a new line, then we have Bitfumes, then we have John, and obviously after John we don't have any new line. That's why we don't get any /n. So you can see we don't have any new line. But if I say new line here and try to run it, yes, we are getting /n here also. So this is the way you can read any content from any file. But here is very extremely important part. When you have opened the file, you must need to close it. So you just need to say f dot close. What this results? No, it doesn't result anything in the output, but it is a good practice. Why it is a good practice? But suppose, because Python opens this and it holds this file content in memory. So if you are not closing it, yes, Python has some garbage collection system where if you are not using something, it will remove from the buffer. But for some time, Python holds all the data of this line, and if you have lots of file opening, then this creates problem, and because you have not closed the file, all the content comes inside the Python memory, and then the operation will become slow. And think about this, if you have a file which having millions of lines, then that will create so much of problem. So it is very useful to close this file. But yeah, sometimes you don't just explicitly say okay, I want to close this. So is there any way which just automatically close the file? Yes, there is a way. So now instead of using open directly, I need to say with open, and now we need to open the file which is name.txt as f, and let's just say print f dot read lines. Run it, and yes, exactly the same result. But this time if I am going to say here f dot let's say print, so print f dot closed, I'm checking whether it is closed or not. So yes, it says true, that means f file is closed. But suppose we have the older system of opening the file. So if I undo all these things, we get this, and if I'm not going to close it and I'm trying to print f dot closed, if I'm checking that if it is closed or not, then it says false. So here it is false, but here it has to be. So let's say instead of f, I will say file, so that some distinguish between the older system and the new system. So f dot close and file dot close. So run it. Yes, you can see the result and the difference between these two. We don't have to explicitly define that you need to close the file. No, with this with operation, you can just get the closing of the file as soon as you complete the content or the operation on that file. As soon as you go out of this with operation, it will just close the file. So if I try to print this f dot closed inside this with statement, you can see this one will give false, this one will give true. So I just comment all these and run. We are getting firstly false because in the statement, in this with statement, we have the false of close. That means the file is still opened. But as soon as we go out of this block of statement, the file get closed. So super useful thing, and this is very nice. And in the next episode we will see how we can write something to the file. So suppose I just want to add some names, or even I don't want name, I just want some addresses or anything else. So how we can do all these things for writing files with Python, we will see in the next episode. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, go and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get instant notification. Like Bitfumes on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We will meet in the next episode. Till then, goodbye.